Hi everybody, I hope you guys are having a great day. Today I'm excited to show you how I'm going to install and run two 3060 Ti's on one motherboard. The 3060 Ti has an issue where Nvidia came out and basically nerfed the driver of it, where you can only get probably about like 25 megahash per second. However, they either forgot or maybe intentionally, nobody knows yet, they forgot to develop a driver online, someone found it and managed to unlock the ability for the 3060 to be able to basically do maybe 45 to 50 megahash. So today we're gonna go through a full build. I'm gonna install a motherboard, CPU, PSU, cooler, everything in this case. And finally, we're gonna install my Asus stuff 3060 and an MSI 3060 on the same motherboard. This is actually the second time that I filmed this video. Yesterday I attempted to do it, but the case that I was using was too short. So I went and kind of moved things around. This was a case that I had in one of the servers and I took out everything from it and we're gonna use it for this build today. Now, I wanna talk a little bit about what is required for you to be able to successfully do this. Even with the developer driver that came out, you won't be able to put the two 3060s on the same motherboard and run it properly because it needs to basically take at least 8 PCIe lanes. A lot of mainstream motherboards can only do, for example, 16 and 4, or I think maybe 8 and 4. I'm not too sure about that one. Luckily, I have an old motherboard. It's not too old. It's probably about 3 years old. I was sitting in one of my other builds. It's a Z390-XP SLI Gigabyte. And the cool thing about this is that I can actually slot in two graphics cards right here, and then each one is gonna be an 8 PCIe lane. So this is very critical. You won't be able to use any motherboard. Look into your motherboard specs before attempting to do this and make sure that when you put two cards, 3060s, that each will take 8 PCIe lanes. So, as usual, we're gonna go through this quickly and I'm gonna do a time lapse of the build, and I'll talk to you towards the end of what megahash I'm getting. We'll go through Windows and then see if this is gonna work or not. I haven't successfully attempted this and I haven't seen anybody kind of do it on YouTube yet. They've spoken that they're looking to do it or it should work in theory. I'm sure somebody has done it by now. But for me, this is the first time that I do it. So fingers crossed that we actually make this work. Anyway, let's get started. I'm gonna speed up the video and I'll catch you guys at the end. So we're done with the build. And now I'm on my computer. I've remote into the PC, into the build, and I'm gonna show you guys what drivers you need to have installed and what settings in the MSI Afterburner you have to do for overclocking and undervolting for this to work. Now, I've already tested this and I actually managed to get it to work. So I'm super happy. Again, two 3060 Ti's on one motherboard. So let's kind of like talk about this a little bit. The first thing that you have to make sure of is you install the developer driver, which is 470.05. If you don't know where that is, you'll probably be able to find it on the internet somewhere. It's already out there. So make sure you have that installed. Do a clean install if you're able to. It gives you an option where you can opt in for a clean install. Do a clean install so that you make sure you wipe everything that you had before. The other thing that you need to make sure of is these, I'm going to go to amazon.ca. The 3060s don't work properly and don't hash properly unless they are plugged in into a display. So what you're going to do is you can plug them into a display, like both of them into a display if you want to. But what I would do if I were you is get a dummy display like dongles. So all you got to do is like search dummy display. Yeah, you can do like HDMI or DisplayPort. I don't think it's gonna matter that much, but any of these would work. I got two, obviously, and then you just plug them in. And it should be able to think that it's actually displaying something. You have to do this. Like, there's no way around it. Otherwise, the miner is not gonna work properly. So let's start mining. I'm gonna open MSI Afterburner. I'm gonna reset my settings just to make sure that things are working okay. I just reset everything and I'm gonna start my miner. I'm using Phoenix Miner for this. Here you go. It's recognizing two 3060s. Building the DAC file. Okay, let's see what we're gonna get. Boom, there you go. 41.3, 41.8. That's amazing. These are this is on stock settings. So I'm gonna do a little bit of tweaking around. I've already kind of tested this and reached a point where things are stable. So I'm gonna load my settings. I have 75% for my power limit. And for my memory clock, I have 1080. And then these are for Samsung memory. One of them is MSI and the other is Asus. And we're gonna apply this. We're gonna see what we're gonna get. Fan speed looks like it's at 45. Temperature is at 64. It'll probably go up a little bit. Okay, 43, 45. Nice. Almost 46 on the Asus. 47, 48. Look at that, this is a beauty. 48, 47.8, so almost 48 on both. I have a feeling I can get this to past 50, but I just need to basically tweak things around and make sure that it doesn't fall off a cliff or crash. So I'm gonna end the video right here, guys. As I mentioned, this is my first attempt to get two 3060s working on one motherboard. I've already addressed in the beginning of the video what you need to be able to get that done. So go back to the beginning of the video if you've already missed that. You need a specific motherboard that can support 2x8 PCIe lanes if you plug in two GPUs. Both of those GPUs should be plugged in into a display or a display dongle, dummy sort of thing. You need to have the developer driver 470.05 installed. And you should be good to go. I think most CPUs will work fine. I haven't tested things, with different CPUs and all of that. And that's it. I'm gonna keep this PC in another room because my basement is getting a little bit hot, and I'm gonna keep it running steady and see how stable it gets over time, or if there's any crashes or not, and I'll let you guys know. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. Take care. Have a good day.